What's up, youth? You better go get bulletproof. Name that author of that coin term. Man, he was really shout out to old dirty bastard. This ain't Wu-Tang Day or nothing, but I was listening to some Wu-Tang. I was listening to Liquid Swords, the Jizz's album, and I was also listening to Only Built for Cuban Links 1 and 2. And my goodness, it's so different when it's real. Ain't it? It's so different when the vibes are real. So shout out to them. What's up, youth? You better go out and get bulletproof. I said, I teach the truth to the youth. Hey, youth, you better go out and get. Anyway, shout out to Old Dirty. Old Dirty Bastard in the building. Now, that's not what I came to you to talk about today, but I did come to you with something related. It's all game related. GAME. And welcome to another episode. I believe, not only do I believe I can fly, but I believe this is episode 35. Sorry for my language. Yeah. Uh-huh. You know, when you be a champion, you be like, yeah. I don't know who invented that cheer, but whatever. So, welcome to episode 35. When I say the number, I hope I get it right, because I'll be like, is this 34 or 35? I don't know. It's 30-something, but you here rocking with me, and this is only the beginning. So one day you'll be able to look at this and be like, I remember when. And that's the cool thing that you and I have right now. It's really all about you. Just think if everybody thought that way. If everybody thought it's really all about you, what a selflessness we would have. But we don't have that. But today, this episode of Sorry for My Language is brought to you by Grindstone Universal. Go to grindstoneuniversal.com. Soon to come on the website is Smoking Jacket Labs fragrances. I know I've been saying this for about 4 months now. Dang, 4 months? We've been rocking for 4 months? But I'm real about it this time. I mean, I was real about it last time, but things take time. So anyway, shout out to Smoking Jacket Labs fragrances and Grindstone Universal. Go to grindstoneuniversal.com. It's the epitome of urban luxury. And it's where progress is made and truth is revealed. That's right.
Oakland, California, that's where I'm from.
That's a little intro to me. But this is one thing that was on my mind today. It was kind of weighing on me. Not weighing on me, but it just tickled me fancy. For those of y'all who went to public school, raise your hand. For those of y'all who went to private school, raise your hand. Now, there's one thing about public school and private school and neighborhoods that give identity to people. And I don't know if it works like this with white people. Well, no, it works like this differently with white people, now that I think about it. But for black people, it seems like the private schoolers go hard. Like, when I say go hard, like they be doing too much. You know what I'm saying? So let me backtrack. When it comes to think about Eminem 8 Mile, right? Eminem had a thing where he was battling this dude Clarence, and then in the battle he just talked about how Clarence had two parents and how Clarence really came from a nice home, but Clarence was like this super gangster on the microphone, right? So we talking about gangster rap right now, and how a lot of the times gangster rap is really gangstalicious. It's really thugnificent. It's really a show. A lot of the times these rappers are showing out. And it's not only limited to rap. A lot of the times people who grew up with something to lose act as if they have nothing to lose. Why is that? I think I have some theories, but we're gonna work it out because I'm working this out in real time. I'm just thinking about some of the people who went the hardest. Now, one group of people who goes harder than anybody is mixed kids. If you got a white parent and a black parent and you want to show up, it'd be the light skinned. I don't know. I know it sounds crazy, but the light skinned ones always go the hardest. Now, maybe they get their hair pulled the most. Maybe they get favor in other places where people don't like that. So then they got to fight their way out of it to prove it. But it seems like just in general, it seems like the high yellow motherfuckers be the ones ready to tear shit up. Think about Busy Bone, right? I mean, just like they be the ones just going off, right? And maybe, and shout out to Busy Bone. I was just listening to Bone Thugs Harmony the other night, and I was like, damn, man, if they would have stuck together, they would have been the damn Whispers or something. Like they would have been so iconic. Not that Bone Thugs and Harmony is not iconic, but they all have like a real talent beyond just rapping. Like that harmony shit, man. Everybody don't have that. And so, shout out to East 99, 99. I loved their first album. But anyway, um, the one who's down to go hardest in the clique, man, they're the ones who usually don't come from the worst situation. Now, this is me getting not just dealing with the light skinned person, because, that's just whatever that is. But the private schooler, the good home person, is usually the ghetto superstar. That's usually how that shit works. And just think about it. Just think about whoever was like the most go hard, hoodest one who you knew or who you know. And then I'm not sure if you know how their home life is, but then think about that shit, right? Think about what home looks like. The motherfucker from the badass home. Now, I'm not saying everybody from the badass home is lighter weight when you match them up with the one from the decent home. But the decent home one just seems like to have a switch that flips quicker because they want to demonstrate that they're not to be fucked with. They just want to demonstrate it all the damn time. And as I think back to high school, junior high school, even some after high school, like in real life, um, people was really trying to be on one. And during Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that shit, the house smells good. You wearing a nice sweater. You got your outfit together. The children are lined up. It's a good look in the house. So why you out there chasing the street? What is it that is set up in the black community that doesn't allow a person to just be like accepted for two hardworking parents? Or one hardworking parent who really did something for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is that unacceptable? I I get confused about that. But there's a part of it where I understand. And before I say the other part that I don't understand, let me talk about the part that I understand. So, for whatever reason, in the before 5 years ago, being called a nerd was meant like an insult and received like an insult. So, a lot of the times, if you had just like some basics in life, maybe you had a jacket, or maybe you had like one of your parents picked you up from school in a decent car or something like that, then you were like you a nerd, you think you better than everybody, and then a person has to be like, man, quit fucking insulting me. But kids aren't really armed with that vocabulary, so even with that emotional vocabulary. So then they have to go extra hard in the paint to show that I'm not the one to be teased. And then they take it too damn far. Then the kid who know they got breakfast, lunch, and dinner at home, they got to go carry the weapon to school. Or they got to go cuss the teacher out and get in a fight. Now from a home where everything is cool, they got to act out to prove to the others that they belong. This is where we mess up as a community. The motherfuckers who have it real bad, embrace the shit sometimes. But most of the times, they want to hide that shit, man. That shit's embarrassing. There might be a drug addicted parent in the house. They might have mice, rats, roaches. They might be sharing clothes. Like their bedroom might be fucked up. They might be sharing the bedroom with a few people. They embarrassed. They not really trying to wear like, yeah, we broke. Shit is fucked up. That ain't no damn, that ain't no shit you really want to be lifting up over your head like you the champion. So then you got this juxtaposition of the person who don't have nothing, who don't have the basics. They try to be ostentatious. That's when you get the outer showings of the gold, the diamonds, the car, the new shoes, the this, the that, like whatever it might be. Even the haircut. Like, fuck, if you had nothing else, the fresh haircut, right? Just to show, nah, I got some things. I got some things, right? And that's really, you don't really have shit, let's face it. But it's really like a front because you know that you're living in fucked up conditions at the crib. But then that's showing the inverse, the rich, like well taken care of, not even rich, but just like it could be some middle class, like the parent, the kid or whatever, the kid of the parents who have it decent, they don't want to show that they have it good. So they might be the one with the bandana tied around their head walking out the house, using all the slangs in the world that would be totally unacceptable by their parent. You don't talk like that at home, but you're out here mixing it up like that out here. To the point where the fiction of the act gets punished with the real penalties of real life. And so when that happens, somebody gonna need some therapy. I mean, it seems like no matter what road I take, I always come back to being your authentic self is always the best way, right? Trying to get some hood stripes. Man, first of all, let's be, I'm gonna take it here. Before crack was in the neighborhoods were called neighborhoods, and that was your neighbor. This shit wasn't hood. Now, whenever you say hood, is somebody acting a certain way. In the 90s, people started saying ghetto, not like that's the ghetto or I live in the ghetto. My dog, my first pet's name when I was a child, my dog, his name was Ghetto, right? So the ghetto has existed, and for some reason, I think that shit came from Europe. That word, I don't know, was that shit in Russia or Germany or some shit? I don't know. Look that up. But people saying, ugh, that's ghetto, or we're ghetto, or I'm ghetto, or all that shit. That was some shit that like jumped off in the 90s, right? Where it started to be like, we gonna start uplifting vagrant behavior. Just the vagrant, wild shit. We gonna start embracing that. Yeah, it's fun. But when you get down to real poverty-stricken shit, man, ain't nobody celebrating powdered milk. Ain't nobody celebrating roaches in the house. Ain't nobody celebrating you don't have no heat in the house, so you got to use a kerosene heater. Nobody is celebrating the fact that your shoes are talking. Nobody's celebrating that you don't have no washing machine and you got to wash by hand because it's too cold to go to the laundromat type shit. Ain't nobody celebrating that. So if you have a home and you have the ability to say thank you, mom, thank you, dad, thank you, big brother, thank you, aunt, grandma, grandpa, thank you, whatever you have. I'm here to encourage you to embrace that shit and stop trying to be poverty stricken and fucked up. And then you end up doing shit, joining alliances that change the course of your life. That shit is crazy. You end up being trauma stricken when you really could have worked as hard as your parents who were willing to help you. But I understand that shit ain't cool. Now, I'm not talking about the hustlers, right? Because you might not see the path that your parents had because your parents, it was different times, they might have had different shit going. So the hustler might find a crease here, a crease there, a way to get, a way to chase your dreams, right? So this is not talking about the hustlers. This is talking about feeling like you got to thug it out for the pure sake of thugging it out. Feel like you got to be violent for the sake of being violent. Now, when it comes to weapons, right, there's a couple reasons to carry a weapon, a couple reasons not to. Now, really, a good weapon is one that'll get somebody up off you. But when you have a ridiculous weapon, more than likely the situation that you live in does not demand that you have that shit. You're probably using that shit to prove some points. Now some people do live in a hell of a situation where I guess you got to bomb first. But a lot of the times people chase that. You know you chasing that. You know you chasing that. You know you are. And then when something happens and you get accused or you get caught up with for using that hammer and it wasn't survival, it was just like, I got to prove a point that I'm the baddest. I got to prove something. When it was that type situation, my oh my, does that change you, don't it? But I understand the get up off you weapon. I get that, right? I understand I might have to, yang. I might, it's several ways to get somebody up off you when you don't have the skills to de-escalate, and when you feel like you can't fight or like they might have something. And when young people are too young to reason, right? But there comes a time of just being extra. And the more extra you are, it really shows like the more fearful you are. And a word to the wise, it be the scare ones that be popping people. They doing that shit out of fear most of the time. So when it comes to being ghetto, being hood, getting respect, doing this, doing that, doing this, what are we doing? Times are changing. It's not so bad to be a nerd now. 2025, shit. Shout out to the nerds. Matter of fact, that's a nerd clap right there. The ones who are able to code, the ones who are able to rebuild your website, the ones who are able to really come up on a real baggie because they fucked around and studied something. That shit is tight. Now, there's always room for the warriors, right? For the ones who go out and, things are what they are and you got to protect yourself and do such and such, right? There's always room for the warriors. But most of the time, let's not front, y'all fools be scared as hell and just be trying to do too damn much because you're scared and you feel if I do this type of danger won't come my way. And I think that that's what drives the private school. And the private school girls be hoes. Like, you know what I'm saying? The private school girls, they chase all the shit that is forbidden in a home that has some damn sense. They want to be all off in the back seat of the hoopty. I don't know what it is. I kind of know what it is, but damn, they be taking it too far. And then once it's too far, it's way too far and it's fucked up. Now you need therapy. So it's always been true that at the private schools, at the schools that cost the most, you can find the most drugs. That's always been true. It's always been true that in the homes where they're a little more affluent, the daughter's way more promiscuous. This is why. Not only is she curious from being sheltered, but the dad is probably getting that money because he's a globetrotter. He's hopping around. He got a meeting in Monaco, and he got a meeting in Phoenix. Then he'll come back for a second. Then he got a meeting wherever. Dad is rocking around. So mom is dolo, but mom, she's busy doing her thing, and mom enjoys her life. So she's as long as you bring home a 3.0 through a 4.0, moms ain't all down your throat. Pause. But then you got so this person has trust from their authority figures and resources. Fuck it, party at my house. And it's like always the good girls going stupid hard, right? I mean, I swear it goes like that all through up the college ranks. It kind of goes like that. They hit the brakes at a certain point in life. They hit the brakes, but it'd be a lot of hoeing going down with the good girls. And I kind of think they got to prove that they could shake that thing too. Good girls, drop a comment and let me know why hoeing was so prevalent in your past or present if you haven't stopped hoeing. And not hoeing for money, like I mean freaking. A hoe is a true occupation where you get that good trade for something. But I'm just talking about you just a toss up in a good way because you a party favor. It's fun, but it's a trip. Like the private school people go the hardest. And let me take a water break for you. Hopefully you got some water next to you and you can do the same. Oh yeah, it's public school water. That's the best part of the water. Like you just, I don't know, came down off Mount Olympus. Man, glasses of water are underrated, man. I love water. We're going to stop all this false thugging, man. We're going to cut this shit out. And then even if you are from the bottom of the bottom, a lot of the thugging that motherfuckers do at first is to keep people off of you. Then you might click together because you figure out a way to get more resources and money. But then after a while, you just caught up in doing it because it seems like that's the thing to do. Now you got a natural enemy, the police you're running from. I thought money was the thing. Why you bring sirens into it? See, pre-crack, the pre-crack era, before crack, BC, this was a lot less prevalent. And you had neighborhoods, crime would happen. You might have the gambling house. You might have some pimping. This person might even sell a drug or two, right? You might have that. But also on the poverty line and below the poverty line, you have people working on ideas. You have people working together. And guess what? There is no lucrative drug dealing on the street no more. So the crack era and the like whatever the fast money dope era was, that's all the way over. That is skunked. So the need to behave in the ways of that character who existed in that time, it's no need for that. You a dinosaur now. And I know it's hard for you to wrap your head around because you were probably born in that era, looking up to people who were about that. But that ain't it no more. So now it's time for you to start working together again. Now it's time for somebody to start having some ideas again. Because there were poverty-stricken areas full of black people that worked together, and then you had these neighborhoods where there would be profitability, sustainability. One would care about another. It's all about you. Yeah, I brought that around. Yeah, it truly is. It's all about you. Try looking at somebody and saying, it's all about you. And mean it. Mean that shit. It makes a difference. And it'll cut a lot of this dumb shit out. And so what's happened now, people started working together. They started working together and doing podcasts, right? Podcast is some people recognize that as the new strip. Now, it might not pay you as fast, but it's going to pay you in full if it hits. So a lot of people look at that like that, right? But then they bring extra excess thuggin' ass behavior to podcasts. That shit ain't it. Now all y'all motherfuckers getting investigated. You getting investigated off Wi-Fi? Huh? You can't leave it alone, huh? You can't leave that taught behavior alone. You can't leave that private school mindset alone where it's like, I gotta prove to you that I'm the one. I gotta prove it. So therefore I'm gonna say all this shit on the microphone. Because I gotta prove to all these people I don't know. You tripping. The era is over. I don't care what your organization is called or what it looks like. That shit is purposeless now. But you got to be bold to be yourself. So we're in the era of the bold. You got to be really bold to be yourself. And shout out to everybody who has decided to be themselves. And there are a lot of people who we like. Look, I'm not gonna shade anybody by name, but I'm gonna give some people props. So in hip hop, currently, I swear my favorite producer is The Alchemist. Man. Alchemist is hella raw. The music is super soulful. His beats are always perfect. His beats get all off in the grit and the grind. He got it. Alchemist got it. I just find out last week the Alchemist was raised in Beverly Hills. What? What? Say what? I love it. He got soul. It ain't where you from, it's where you at. Right? And he got it within. And that's what rings true with him. And I love what has happened. So just as Alchemist is from Beverly Hills and makes this soulful music, somebody else could be from the bottom and create something beautiful. And his product is the proof. That music is the proof. So he not acting. Like he really has that ear. He really got that knack. A lot of people who might have been born in Beverly Hills, they might go to Malibu and be Malibu's most wanted. That's when you get the assignment wrong. You ain't practiced long enough to create shit. You just out here faking and then you mess your life up. And that's what we have got to stop celebrating. And that's what we have to stop angling our own actions towards. Okay? And when you think about it, even when you think about yourself, are you doing too much? Are you doing too much trying to be accepted by a group of people and trying to resonate with a group of people who are from a different place, but you want to be able to blend in with them, so you're putting a little extras on it? Is that you? If so, you could confess in the comments. Or you could confess in the air in front of you. And just be real. Are you doing too much trying to fit into something that you're not for the mere sake of acceptance? Because that shit looks cool. Like the private school dudes wearing the it's crazy he coined this, but wearing the shiesty, right? When you wear the hoodie with only this part, the damn ski mask. damn near a ski mask. I think they call it a balaclava or some shit like that. But like you go to a very expensive private school and you know you got breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert. Why are you trying to act like you about to rob somebody? Come on, good kid, Mad City. Or maybe you might be about to rob somebody because you got to prove it to the set. Don't mess your life up, man. There are ways to honor your parents. And the ways you can honor your parents are trust their process, man. Trust their path. Trust the fact that those good people. Let me see who's calling me, man. Just a sec, guys. Just a sec. I'm not embarrassed about my business. Let me get y'all jamming while I check on this. Okay. Station identification. Go to grindstoneuniversal.com. Yeah. Hey. Never try to front. If you're the one who Malibu wants. If you're the one who Malibu wants most. Don't try to target to a coast. Don't attach yourself to things that aren't true. The best thing you could do is be you. Let life shine in the spotlight. That sun ray is yours. Don't go on no unnecessary jail tours or to a boy's home or somewhere and get your dome crushed. Don't do too much. When everybody else is yelling, just hush. Just hush. Rapping is fun. So yeah, man, back to the fundies as I sit here in my undies. Y'all probably wondering, man, why is he not wearing a shirt? Guess what else I'm not wearing? I'm not wearing socks either. Okay, get your mind out. Get your mind out the gutter, Scooter. But this is also a lesson. I do this show from my home. I tricked out a nice little area in my home and I do it from my home. Now, I've seen in just this past week, I'm going to give it 7 days, there are prominent podcasters who have to move out of the space that they're in to bring you the message that they bring you because they couldn't afford the rent or the maintenance of the building or some, the things. You can operate in this era on nerd time. Set it up, study something, learn how to get it right in your crib. And you could get this thing right from damn near 20 steps away from where you sleep. And you could, if you need to drive the fancy car, get the fancy stuff, you can do things from your home that will provide you a lifestyle. Keep your refrigerator full if that's what you need. Shout out to the new way, the brand new day. So yeah, all your thugging principles, man, I want you to exchange them, put them in a frame, put them in a gold box, and understand that's lucrative in the era of the past. Running up, people don't even carry cash no more. So I mean, who you really robbing? Like really? What you really doing? You ain't robbing nobody. You ain't robbing nobody for something that's gonna change your life. I mean, it might change your life because you might have dirt on your chest after that, but it's not gonna change your financial level from here to here. That ain't what's popping. And you got to know that, right? So a note to all parents who are doing well enough for your kids to be in private school and to have at least 4 pair of shoes and to be having a winter wardrobe and a summer wardrobe and a vacation or two a year, to all those parents, I want you to check in with your kid. And I want you to correct all that bullshit they doing when you notice them trying to go a little harder than they really cut. Because that's a slippery slope. Somebody might believe them. Somebody might take that kid up on their offer about, oh, you like that, like that? Well, here, hold this. Bring this with you. Let's do this. Next thing you know, they on the dummy mission, but they needed acceptance and you didn't stop it. So I want, it's time for all you parents to be real with your kids. And then if you are one of the people who might be about to do some damn shit, but you know you could go home and turn on a light because you got electricity, and you know you could throw on a pair of socks and maybe turn on a little bit of heat if it's a chill in the air. Turn on a little heat just to knock the chill out the air. If you got those type of amenities, then you got some time to study up on some shit that you could apply to your life tomorrow to get what you might need so you don't have to fuck with that dumb lick you about to hit that might get your whole chest split open. Right? So we're gonna start operating like our minds work. And you don't have to, you don't have to crash your life to be down, man. Ain't nobody gonna really accept you except your therapist. That group of people ain't gonna be there. They not gonna do that. Come on, private school kids. Even publics, come on, cared for people. You don't even have to be cared for by someone else. You can care for yourself. Right? You can care for yourself. Care for yourself. That's what I'm getting at here. I need you to care for yourself instead of caring what everybody else thinks. Because what everybody else thinks is going to be an afterthought when you're facing the consequence. So for the private school kid who tries to act like they're the worst of the public school kids, knock it off. For the public school kid who tries to act like your parents don't love you and they do, or your community, or you don't have no resources and you do, man, quit fooling yourself. It's a better way. For the person who has nothing, ain't nowhere else to go but up. Might want to look at it like that. And when I was a teacher, I saw I was a teacher for 2 years. I saw a spectrum of people living in ways that I really didn't know people lived. I was like, damn, it's honorable for this kid to even make it to school. This shit is honorable. It was like a couple kids. I was like, damn, oh my God. Shit. I've been to Africa. And it's amazing that some people in some of those living conditions can put it in context where they could come outside and smile and do shit. Because it'd be like in some of them small joints, is hella people in a room living a life, like hella different families in one room. Well, it's people in Maryland living like that. Like straight up. It's people living like, yeah, you might be poor, so you flipping through your cable channels. Shit. It's motherfuckers with very little to nothing, living in areas where you think people got something. And so just being a teacher and seeing that, I was like, oh shit. Okay, this is a different level of I ain't got nothing. And if you're not living like that, man, you need to pipe it down and stand up and respect yourself and do better. There is hope. Matter of fact, there's hope for everybody. But you need to just look at your own lottery ticket of life. You're not in jail or the hospital. Man, your shots are astronomical, what you got laying in front of you. And just go ahead and shoot your shot. 8-ball corner pocket. Not 8-ball. Don't do 8-ball. But I'm just saying, do your best. So once again, man, I couldn't figure out, I'll be trying to style a little bit for you. I'll be trying to look like, like that, but I couldn't figure out what to wear today. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna wear glasses. And it'd be like that. But you stuck around with me, and I appreciate it, man. Share this, tell a friend, like, subscribe, do all the things. I'm Grindstone, and this is Sorry for My Language, telling all of you who are doing too much, looking for acceptance from people who don't really truly give a fuck about you, to stop it. Stop it. Private schoolers, give thanks that you have somebody paying that tuition. Public schoolers, make the most of it. People who are out of school and you're trying to prove something to somebody who's not going to be there, man, tap in with God. You got a divine function here. Let's work on it. Go to grindstoneuniversal.com. If nobody else told you today, I hope you heard it from me. You are special. I love you just the way you are. Until next time.